Good evening. Welcome to the Tuxedo Local Development Corporation meeting of May 18th. I'd like to call May 18th, 2023. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. We have a pretty limited agenda here this evening. The main thing we wanted to accomplish was the slight adjustment to the program guidelines. The board wanted to be able to consider working with some smaller grants, and we anticipate that some of the smaller grants could have a problem with the requirement for 2 cost estimates. So it's been proposed by several members that we consider that this evening. Is there anything else that we had on the agenda, Julie?
We needed to approve the minutes or
Okay.
review them from the last meeting, which was April 13th, 2023.
Could you put those up on your screen possibly? I didn't print them.
I will see what I can do.
In the meantime, maybe we could quickly discuss the major task at hand for this evening. So this question was posed to our attorney, Rachel Baronello. And Rachel, why don't you just apprise us of the limited suggestion that you proposed that appears on page 4 of the program guidelines.
Sure. I know my dogs are about to bark, so I'll just preface.
Okay.
I know they're gonna, somebody just pulled in. So Ken posed, and I understand the board has posed, whether we can eliminate the requirement of 2 cost estimates and for smaller projects. I suggested instead the board reserve its right and in its discretion waive the need for 2 cost quotes as it comes up, because I think it gives you flexibility as you're reviewing applications, and you may feel that there are instances with projects, depending on the nature, depending on the applicant, that you still want those 2 cost quotes, even if it's below your threshold or above your threshold. And there may be instances where a project is above your threshold, but I know we saw with the Historical Society, like there was already only one, they felt only one appropriate provider of the service, and I think we'd still recommended 2 quotes, but I think it gives you the flexibility that you want and need around the cost estimates.
So open for board discussion. Makes sense to me. I think this puts it in our hands on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, I let's wrap my head around it, because I thought we were only talking about small ones, but leaving the definition of small open.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Look,
Yeah.
we're trying to get an RFP for the train station. We're having trouble getting anybody bidding.
Right.
Are we going to hold up projects when there's a viable contractor and the cost seems reasonable? And in this day and age, it ain't easy to get contractors. And,
Municipal work, yeah.
especially if it's a contractor that comes highly recommended or is familiar to the board. Or, I mean, I'm just, it's happened to us. So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, for us, the train station, for instance, if it's somebody we don't know,
that's why it's up to our discretion, I would say.
Right.
So, and it also eliminates this process of delaying reviewing or approving a grant. And so, I mean, this accommodates the application that we're expecting to be submitted, gets us there, and I think that was the
You're
motivation.
right. That was the motivation, because it's a small project. Okay. But maybe we keep that in our back pocket, like we don't publicize that.
No, it'll be in here. Well, it's going to be.
I'm just kidding.
But we'll make it clear that we're
Just
going
on-
by the guidelines, and
Yeah, that is the
someone can
guideline,
ask,
but,
but that doesn't mean we have to consider it.
true, right, the requirement still is for two.
Yeah.
But we give ourselves the flexibility on a case-by-case basis.
So it's
to-
one sentence. The board, in its sole and absolute discretion, reserves the right to waive this requirement.
Okay, all right, I'm good.
Okay.
Well,
So we don't really need then a defined amount threshold?
no,
Okay.
no. It's as it stands, any proposal needs to have two cost estimates.
Okay.
And, well, it could also be, like, so for example, in a larger project, there may be multiple contractors, as we know. And maybe for one element of the job, you couldn't get two estimates. Are we
Right.
gonna not do
Right.
the project because you couldn't get two estimates to paint a door?
Right.
You know, that would be crazy. in my opinion.
Especially, a contractor that does special kind of work.
Yeah, I mean, there's oftentimes a small element of the job that it's hard to find anybody to bid on it, never mind multiple contractors. So again, it doesn't take away anything, it just gives us some flexibility. So is that the end of our discussion? And Dylan, I don't want to leave you out. You're muted and I can't see you, so not sure if you want to add anything to that.
I'm all good, and I think obviously flexibility is good. So I think the whole conversation makes sense.
All right, thank you. So I'll just make a motion to accept the change that's been submitted by our attorney on page 4 that reads, "The board in its sole and absolute discretion reserves the right to waive this requirement, the requirement being the two cost estimates for the proposed project are required and must be included in your application." Do I have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, seconded by Michelle Lindsay. We actually had our discussion already, so I think we're ready to vote. And I'll just say, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, it's unanimous. Note that Board Member John Bagno is absent this evening. So that was the one thing we wanted to change in the bylaws. And now, Julie, I don't know if you have those minutes available.
I do. Let me just share my screen.
Thank you.
But for the benefit of Michelle, that we had that discussion over the fee application. That's
Oh.
gonna,
Oh, thank you.
Okay, are you seeing the minutes?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it
Okay.
really starts with the Hamlet revitalization. Everything else is just,
Yeah,
I'll just read it because I didn't read it yet. The board reviewed the application and supplemental information requested. This is for the Historical Society. Town Planning Board and Architectural Review Board approval is complete and a second cost estimate has been provided. The project consists of a certain parcel of land, 241 State Road 17, New York, together with the existing improvements located thereon, renovation of the exterior structure to make facility handicapped accessible, and installation of a new surface-mounted security lighting, sand reglazed prime and paint windows, and installation of period signage for the scope of work. Actually, I'd like to strike the reglazed prime and paint windows and installation of just the strike reglazed prime and paint windows. That actually was removed because of the concern over the potential asbestos and lead paint.
right.
So could we strike that, please, Julie?
we can do that.
And other than that, on a motion by Mr. English, seconded by Ms. DeNaro, the board approved grant funding of up to $101,855 payable to the grantee and reimbursement as the expenses as identified in the budget are incurred, verified, and approved according to the grant.
So, well, let's see, does that change the overall cost of the project
No,
in the half?
No, it was a minor,
Really?
yeah. Anyway, first of all,
Okay.
we're only gonna pay for
Half of what they did.
what they
Okay.
submit
Okay.
invoices for.
All right.
So it's up to $101,000. That's not a guaranteed number. Hamlet revitalization for Carlin Realty, excuse me. Board reviewed the application and supplemental information requested. The Town Planning Board and Architecture Review Board approval is complete. A second cost estimate has been provided and the application budget has been completed. Board members discussed replacement of second floor windows. Mr. Dolbaum stated that the replacement of windows currently blocked up was not contemplated. Mr. Banya will confirm the scope of work approved by the Town Planning Board, which has been done. The project consists of a certain parcel of land, 113 State Route 17, Tuxedo, together with the existing improvements located thereon, replacement of the roof, installation of new windows, replacement of first floor windows, prime and paint exterior facade, installation of period signage, scope of work. Anything after that? Okay, on a motion by Mr. English, seconded by Ms. Lindsay, the board approved grant funding up to $104,585.65 payable to the grantee. Board members discussed outreach to property owners in the business district. Next meeting will be held May 18th. Here we are. Respectfully submitted, Julie Marshall. Any further comments or additions to?
No, but
edits?
you could read that. I need new glasses. I wouldn't be
I
able to
passed
read.
the eye test.
Oh, my God.
Very impressive.
I'm impressed.
Well, I couldn't read them with my reading glasses, that's for sure.
Well, these are my,
I had it memorized. How about that for
Oh, yeah,
impressing
right.
you all?
Okay.
I didn't need to read it. I had it memorized. If you believe that, I have a bridge I'll sell you in Brooklyn. Okay. So I motion to approve. Do I have a second, Irene?
yes, you have a second. I
From
second.
Irene. I'll just, all in favor of
Aye.
approval? Aye. Dylan, you want to throw in your aye on that one?
I do. I just couldn't
Very
find my
good.
mute
That-
button.
That's an aye from Dylan as well. Okay, so we approve the minutes. We approve the minor change to the program guidelines. I guess the last thing I'd like to do is maybe just contemplate a meeting in June.
I know that John said Thursdays are no longer good for him.
Okay,
And I'm leaving on the 13th, so if we could do it the week before, that would be great.
I'm not sure we'll have anything to review before then.
That's true, we might not.
So,
Do we want to wait to the end of the month? Would that give you a better shot?
sure. How about Tuesday, the 27th? Is that in anybody's way?
Let me see, I have a 3:30 doctor appointment. I wouldn't be able to get here till at least 5:30 or
Oh, okay, that's
6.
fine.
6 or 7?
Could we do 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 27th? And of course, if we don't have any proposals, it will be canceled.
That works for me.
Okay.
Dylan, do you have any objection to that?
No objection.
To Tuxedo
27.
LDC, Tuesday, June 27th.
27.
You said 6 PM, Michelle?
3:30, 4:30, I mean 5:30, I could possibly be 5:30.
Let's leave it at 6.
6,
This
okay.
way you're not stressing.
Right.
Again, pending application submitted to Rachel and Julie, and that they deem are suitable and complete to pass on to the board. Any other business we need to consider? I don't think so.
Oh, you already decided on the application fee?
Well, no, we didn't decide. We were talking
We're talking about
casually
it. Okay.
because we didn't have a quorum. And so there was a suggestion, would we consider lowering the fee? Rachel opined that, that, it's already a low fee. And in discussion with Irene, I just felt like part of the thing of the fee is, first of all, to cover some of the costs, and also to weed out people that are just kind of flighty about their decision, just to seek grant funding. in essence, they're getting the money back, so to speak, when they get the grant. And
How about?
we feel like it's really not that much of a burden, but please
No,
go ahead.
no, I think we should have the fee, but, maybe we could apply some of it if it's a really small, like an awning towards their part of the match.
You know, the one thing that maybe we could add to the bylaws is, Rachel, you know, at the board's discretion, any and all things, like, kind of like expanding your notion of at the board's discretion. The board can waive requirements, you know, but the problem with that,
But
as we
you
discussed,
don't
is
want
that
people-
everybody can come up to you and say,
Yeah.
you know,
You
I
did
don't
it
want to
for
be
me, you didn't do it for,
negotiating.
Yeah,
It's just too much, there could be too much negotiating.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you
okay.
want to keep it clean, like nobody's gonna
As
say,
much.
yeah.
You let him get away with it.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
why'd you do that? Now you have to justify every decision.
And that was my concern from the beginning.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I do.
we're gonna leave that one alone?
Yeah,
And close
okay.
the meeting?
Fine.
Okay. All right, so then we don't have any further business to discuss unless Rachel or Julie remind me of something we've forgotten, which I don't think we did.
I think we got everything.
Okay,
Yay.
so, all right, I'll just make I don't know, I don't think it's a motion necessarily, but we're scheduling the next meeting for
June
June
27th,
27th, Tuesday at
6 PM.
Let the minutes reflect that, and I'll make sure I inform our town clerk. So I'll make a motion to close this meeting, adjourn this meeting at 5:50. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Irene Denaro. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The meeting is ended. Go in peace. Thank you, Julie and Rachel and Dylan.
Sure.
And we'll see you soon.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
night.
Thanks,
Bye.
Good
everyone.
night now.
Bye.
Bye.